A track there from street chant called Secrets and Lies here on the Radio Whammo Breakfast. 19 minutes past 7 now. Time to get the latest from underwatertimes.com from Jeff Dudas in Miami. Hello, Jeff.
Hey, how you doing, Whammo?
Very well, thanks, and Happy New Year to you. Welcome back.
Thanks for having me back. Happy New Year to you.
And first story today involves a very strange tale of mimicry.
Yeah, it's a fish that mimics an octopus that mimics a fish. It's kind of a strange story. It starts off with the mimic octopus, which is an octopus that was only fairly recently described and discovered about 10 years ago. And this is an octopus that lives in Indonesia. And it has a strange habit. It mimics creatures that are like poisonous or fairly dangerous underwater, so it sort of no one bothers it. And it sort of takes the shape of different animals, like a sea snake or a lionfish, and it sort of changes its body and its shape and its movements to mimic these other dangerous creatures. So it's, it's in of itself very strange octopus and very very intelligent creature. And then you have the black marble jawfish, which is sort of the opposite. It's a small, timid fish that lives in a sand burrow and never goes out. Basically, it just hides from predators all day long, and it's just rarely found outside its burrow.
Yeah.
Well, this is until now. Actually, a researcher was filming a mimic octopus, and he discovered that this black marble jawfish was actually swimming with the octopus as the octopus goes around and makes its rounds, which is sort of totally unexpected behavior. And as it turns out, this fish has the same colorations as the octopus, so it sort of blends in with its arms, and you really can't even tell it's there.
Wow.
So they think the fish has sort of figured this out. Is probably, as the octopus was passing by, that, hey, this guy looks familiar. It's probably safe for me to come out and hide among him and go out and hunt for food that he couldn't normally do because he would be eaten. And if the octopus, didn't have its reputation as no one messes with it, it would be eaten. So sort of the two worked together and figured out a way to both benefit each other.
Wow. Well, wow. And I suppose that relationship has existed for a long, long time, right? This isn't something new?
Well, that's sort of the question. I mean, it was just discovered this last July, so no telling how long this has been going on. That they think that the fish always looked sort of like had the same colorations as an octopus. It's just by chance it came across an octopus that looks like it. But that's sort of the other strange thing. You look at this fish, the octopus has very distinct markings, sort of stripes and dots and brown and white. It has its own pattern. You look at the fish, stripes and brown and dark and white.
Yeah.
So you got to kind of scratch your head, sort of how did this all come about? But,
exactly. Hey, on to the next story, and I'm sure that when we had you covering this last year, a record was broken for the price paid for tuna, and that record has been smashed once again.
Yeah, imagine going out in a fishing boat and snagging a big bluefin tuna than being able to retire on that one fish. And that's just about what's happened. A fish has sold, a bluefin tuna, record price, $700,000 U.S. dollars.
Crikey.
A single bluefin tuna weighed about 270 kilograms. That beat the old record, which I think was about $425,000. This is in Tokyo, the famous Tsukiji, I'm probably butchering that, fish market. It's the famous fish market in Tokyo. And they have the first auction of the year, which is the big deal. And it's always the first auction. They always have these record prices. This guy who owns a big tuna chain, or not tuna, a sushi chain, bought the fish. They say, as you buy a fish, you got to chop it up and cut it up and fillet it. This would go for about $2,600 U.S. or $2,800 U.S. a kilogram. So 1 kilogram of fish, about $2,800 U.S. dollars, which works out to, for a slice of sushi, about $65.
But of course, this price is paid obviously on the quality, but also the fact that this fish is now extremely rare.
Yeah, that's the sad thing. These fish, as you think about it, a $700,000 fish. These are being hunted pretty. There's almost a science to hunting these fish now. and extremely endangered, and yet extremely popular with Japanese and all around the world for sushi.
What do they call them? The tigers of the sea?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, there's industries. There's industries in Australia and industries in Japan just around this one fish and trying to raise them and catch them small and grow them and all sort of things to get more of this valuable fish.
Because it's funny, because you said that you could possibly retire on one of these fish if you caught it yourself, but you'd have that decision to make, though, wouldn't you? If you reeled one of these up, that decision whether or not to put it back or indeed sell it.
Right. I mean, there was another story off the U.S. coast. A guy caught one of these, and it was a $400,000 fish. He sold it. I think this is an individual. So, I mean, as crazy it may seem, but it's possible.
Wow, amazing. All right, final story. A 3.5 ton underwater statue off the Italian coast has just gone missing.
This is baffling. Italian police, if they don't have enough trouble with things going disappearing and crime. A statue from the seabed, 95 feet down, that was cemented into the seabed, just disappeared.
What was it doing there?
Oh well, it was the bronze statue of Saint Francis Paolo, which is about 8 foot high. Along the Italian coast, there's several of these statues, and basically they're saints, and they dot the coastline, and they're meant to protect fishermen and scuba divers. And so they plant them and put them along the coast. No one knows what happened to this one. It just literally disappeared. Police investigated. They think, well, there's two theories. One is a fishing net might have scooped it up and brought it up by accident, but it's illegal to fish there, so they wouldn't have reported it. So that's one theory. But there's also another theory that says someone saw a van with some sort of weird statue in it, in town.
You think?
And it said maybe somebody ordered this one to be stolen, and so it's Italy, so you never quite know.
That's right.
Going on.
Either that or the captain of that cruise ship that just recently ran aground managed to hit it.
Yeah, something strange. So no updates on this. This is still missing. So if you see pictures of a statue that's supposed to be underwater, that's probably in someone's backyard or something.
It'd be covered in coral and seaweed.
Yeah, something. But I don't know if it's bad luck to bring it up.
Yeah, you'd think so. Thanks very much, Jeff. Cheers.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Jeff Dudas from underwatertimes.com is where you find a whole lot more stories, much like those ones. And also, of course, you can hear him here every 2 weeks on the Radio Whammo Breakfast.